Welcome to Good Morning KU. I'm Itala.
And I'm Gabe. Round 1 of the NFL draft begins tonight, and I can't wait for it.
Same here. Right now, we have a lot to look forward to with this draft class, including Kansas running back Puka Williams and long snapper Logan Klinsman. Back in December, Puka announced on Twitter that he had declared for the 2021 NFL draft. Williams also opted out on the 2020 season due to family health issues, Williams said.
That's right, and I'm not sure if he'll land a high draft pick due to that. I mean, despite how talented he is, it'll be interesting to see where they do end up landing. I'm sure we'll also see quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones with high draft picks. They're all really solid this season, and it would be great additions to any team like the Jaguars or the Jets who really need a good quarterback.
The draft is full of talent, that's for sure, so we decided to do a little digging and ask some fellow students what they thought about the draft. Take a look.
All right, so obviously, with what I've got on, my Jaguars jersey, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the first overall pick. He's going to be the best quarterback in the draft. But outside of that, Zach Wilson at 2 to the Jets, it's a lock, basically. The 49ers, now, I think they're going to take Mac Jones, but if I was in charge, I'd be taking Justin Fields. Oh, well. We'll see how they do with Mac Jones, but I'm a Justin Fields guy. And then finally, who's going to be the best quarterback out of the draft class? Once again, Trevor Lawrence. He's going to be the best quarterback in 2 years. He's going to be better than Patrick Mahomes. He's going to end up better than Tom Brady. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence all the way. Jacksonville, we turn it around right now. 2022 Super Bowl champions.
I definitely do think I'm a little biased towards Trevor Lawrence. I followed him a lot this season, and he even won a national championship as a freshman, so I think that says a lot about him.
I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the top draft pick because he seems to have the best record and seems to be the most athletic of all the other options. So,
if we're talking about pure talent, the first person that comes to my mind is Trevor Lawrence.
That's for sure, yeah. Oh no. Well,
he won a national championship as a freshman and only lost twice as a starting quarterback, with both defeats coming in the college football playoffs. The NFL crowd has been hyping up Lawrence for years based on his projections as a generational talent, but his college accomplishments alone would be worth his #1 status.
I think he's definitely worth the hype. I mean, the guy's style is like Patrick Mahomes. He's a great passer with a strong arm, and he's also really mobile and has upped his running game recently. And it's known that quarterbacks that are drafted in the first few picks have a tendency to flop, and that's mainly due to the pressure that the crowd puts on them. But I simply don't see Trevor Lawrence flopping. Based on how great he was throughout his college career, I just don't see it.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Justin Fields is a player that I feel deserves more credit than he's getting. In 2019, Fields became the first quarterback in the Big Ten history with 40 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns. And his 41-3 touchdown to interception ratio was the best in the country. With those stats, I think that should make Fields #2 to Lawrence in this draft class.
Yeah, for sure. I really feel like Lawrence is still the best player, though, in the 2021 class. I mean, we got to give Justin Fields his credit, though. I understand why the Jets might pick Zach Wilson over him since he fits their play style better, but I still feel like Justin Fields is better than a quarterback like Mac Jones or Trey Lance. Don't get me wrong, they're both really good, but when you look at Mac Jones, he was just surrounded by outstanding talent the entire time he was at Alabama. I really think Justin Fields will shine as long as he's given the chance to do so on whatever team he is drafted to.
Yes, and the last player I want to get into is Oregon's offensive lineman, Penei Sewell. In 2 full seasons of starting, Sewell allowed just 1 sack and 1,376 snaps. He's been pro-ready for years and the kind of player you don't need to ask for a number when watching the tape. I know many teams aim for a flashy player like Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence, but sometimes you need to find a player that can help solidify your team. He's a tough guy, and I think the NFL team could really benefit from a guy like him.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Well, Atala, I think that wraps up today's segment. Stay tuned for Miranda with a special guest, graduating senior Jordan Nicole.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Hello and welcome back. I'm here with Jordan Nicole, graduating senior. I'm Miranda, and we're just going to talk a little bit about, where you're moving after college, what's coming after. Can you tell me a little bit about what your favorite memory here was at KU?
Okay, so sophomore year, I don't know if you've had Carrie Benson for
I
Journalism
actually
101.
haven't.
She's quite the character, but I wanted to talk to her and interview her, so I went up to her after our J101 class and I said, "Can I interview you?" She looked me dead in the face and said no. And I said, "Okay, why?" And she said, "Because I can't cuss on TV." And I was like, I'm not taking that for an answer. Well, you can come on and talk to me. And she did, and it was really great because I felt like I got a chance to break down her walls in a sense and really get to know who she was as a person. I feel like underneath she's really sweet and gives off this hard, intimidating exterior. And she told me some great things about how she went to nursing school to put herself through college. So that was great. And ever since then, I would just see her on campus and tease her and give her a hard time. And so that was one of my favorite things.
That's awesome. I know a lot of students, when they feel like they get to really know her, it seems like a big piece of their journalism career here, which is awesome. So you're in your fourth year now. So you've been here for a while. How have you kind of seen, I guess, some of the journalism department kind of move forward, or what parts have you gotten to be involved in?
So I feel like when I came here, so just a little backstory, I'm a dinosaur. This is my second time going to college.
Oh my gosh.
So with me coming here again, I was like, I have to be serious about this. This is definitely what I want to do. And so in total, I've been in school for 6 years, and I was like, I need to get involved in everything. I need to hit the ground running. So with me being here for 4 years, I participated in Good Morning KU. I did a year of Good Evening KU. And then I participated in a show that I'm on right now, which is what is KUJH News? I had a brain fart. But yeah, so and I'm also in a capstone class, which is State House reporting, and that class was pretty hard for me in the sense just because I feel like things, as far as education-wise, come naturally for me, but it was hard because I was covering State House meetings. I'm figuring out what's going on in the Senate and in the House, and going back and watching these meetings that are kind of dry and listening to political jargon and being like, okay, what is the most important things that people need to know? But yeah, for me, I really made great connections with my professors, and I encourage everyone to do that in a genuine way. Shout out to Professor Gaston, Carrie Benson. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Jerry Crawford. He's amazing. Cal Butcher. He never likes any spotlight. But yeah, I feel like all of these teachers just really helped me grow into the person that I am, and just really being able to take it to the next step professionally. And I'm so thankful for the J School.
That's awesome. Speaking of that next step professionally, where are you going to be moving forward towards after KU?
Yeah, so right now I'm not 100% sure, but I don't feel stressed. So I feel like it's a good sign. Yeah, I've heard back from a few major media companies that I made it to the next round. So I'm still waiting. Fingers crossed. But as far as the next move, I'm going to be moving to Kansas City for a year, and then after that I'm going to be taking on New York.
That's so fun. That'll be a great place to get engulfed in constant motion and media and everything like that. So that sounds like a good plan. And I know a lot of journalism students are in that same position right now, whether they're juniors doing internships or seniors moving to work and all that stuff afterwards. The world's kind of opening back up again. So we're just having to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, that's another reason why I was holding off on that, because I'm I don't want to pay $1 million to live in a shoebox right now. So I'll just wait a little bit longer. But the great thing is that there's still so many opportunities that I can engage in remotely and learn from those experiences and just see where things take me.
That's awesome. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
The advice I would give to people is just get involved. Honestly, like, I know it sounds cliche and annoying, but like getting those reps in and rotating, like I love being in front of the camera, but I would say the biggest thing for me was, and still is, something I kind of struggle with is like off behind the camera things is video editing, audio. It might sound crazy, but those are the things that make me more nervous than going
hard,
on camera. My hands start sweating, but like still like forcing myself to try to do that. So yeah, practicing things that you might not want to do because you never know when you might get an opportunity to do something like that, and just really trying to be well-rounded. You might not want to be a writer or copy editor, but just doing a semester with the UDK or radio show would still be great, and just always be willing to volunteer and ask for advice from your teachers.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think people don't really realize how important it is to get involved, and when we actually mean it, you really need to get involved.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely helps a lot. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes.
And stay tuned for our next segment.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now. No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
It's just.
I don't know the head.
It's hard by yourself.
Good morning, I'm Noah.
And I'm Ethan. This is your Good Morning KU News Update. FDA and CDC have cleared the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to once again be administered after an 11-day pause to review rare cases of severe blood clots. The Kansas City, Missouri Health Department is one of the first in the area to resume the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It was concluded that the known and potential benefits of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine outweigh its known and potential risks.
About 2 million more $1,400 stimulus checks have been issued, and this seventh group of checks totals to more than $4.3 billion. This particular batch of stimulus checks includes money issued to people whose tax returns have been processed by the IRS. The total number of checks that have been sent out reaches 163 million and combines to about $384 billion.
The Justice Department has charged all 3 suspects of Ahmaud Arbery's death with hate crimes, who passed in February of 2020. Counts 1 and 2 of indictment against Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Bryan allege that the defendants targeted and threatened Arbery because of his race. All men are already facing murder charges in Georgia.
The NCAA said that decisions in all 6 infraction cases currently being reviewed by the Independent Accountability Resolution process are expected in the next 12 months. One of these cases is tied to the KU men's basketball team and was officially accepted in July 2020. Also included in this lineup are Memphis, North Carolina State, Arizona, LSU, and Louisville. KU's men's basketball case includes allegations of 5 Level 1 violations.
KU Watkins Health Services has continued to administer vaccines to KU students and staff. KU was sent its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from Lawrence Douglas County Public Health back in early March. On April 9th, Douglas County Public Health officials transitioned away from the previously used vaccine interest forms and now are having all those 16 and older sign up for their vaccines directly. Students and staff can get their vaccines through Watkins or sign up for appointments using the Douglas County Coronavirus Response website.
Naya Denise McAdoo, presidential candidate for ACT UP KU, and Ethan Rourke, vice presidential candidate, won the election for student body president and vice president. According to KU Student Trial Court's unofficial results, only 1,056 people, or 4.4% of eligible voters, casted votes in the election. McAdoo said ACT UP KU's election will start an era of accountability on KU's campus, according to the Kansan.
In sports, the baseball team split a midweek series with Sacramento State, losing 11-6 on Tuesday before holding out the Hornets for a 6-4 victory yesterday. Now 23-19, the Jayhawks will host North Dakota State over the weekend.
The bats were silent for the softball team in Texas last weekend. KU scored only 10 runs and lost all 3 games to the number 9 ranked Texas Longhorns. The Jayhawks are now 22-20 on the season, but just 2-10 in Big 12 conference play. Next up for Kansas is a return trip to Texas to take on Baylor this weekend in Waco.
Freshman Victoria Gorlova won triple jump last weekend. John McDonald Invitation, Arkansas, with a personal best mark of 42 feet, 8 1/4 inches. She also placed 4th in the long jump. She and the rest of the men's and women's track and field teams will host the Rock Chalk Classic tomorrow and Saturday at Rock Chalk Park.
And the rowing team christened a new boat last week called Morning Fog. Head coach Carrie Cook-Callens said the new boat celebrates the 25th anniversary of the Kansas rowing team, which will take on Kansas State in the Sunflower Showdown on Saturday in KCK.
That's all for your news update. Jade is out getting her second vaccine dose, but a quick look at the weather shows sunshine for the next few days and a chance of rain beginning next week. I'm actually getting my second dose Sunday, and I'm not looking forward to the side effects. I heard you actually received yours yesterday.
I did, so at this point I'm just embracing for the side effects, but still go get vaccinated, everybody, and have a great day, Jayhawks.